Yeah, I'm really excited to say that ESP LTD have given me a signature guitar, which is something that I didn't think this would, really happen. And if it did, I'd probably be about 60 years old or something, and they go, oh, well, he's been with us 30 years, let's give him a guitar, sort of thing. This is based on an H-401, which I've been playing for, a long time in my band, Sacred Mother Tongue. And I just really liked that guitar. So when they said, oh, we'll do you a signature guitar, what do you want to do? And I said, well, basically that. But we'll just change a couple of things. I mean, the headstock is the new H series headstock for all the ESPs and LTDs. But I decided that it looked better turned up the other way, because I've got because sometimes I play on stage and I've got no air and stuff like that. I often associate pointy guitars get towards the floor looking good if you've got no air, unless you've got Ian, of course, he looks cool, whatever. But I just thought I prefer, like the Ibanez reverse headstocks and stuff like that, and also comparisons as well. I quite like those headstocks. So I thought this would look quite good that way around. There's some locking tuners on the back, so, it takes the headache out of stringing a guitar, which can be often quite boring. It's all matte paint, so the back of the neck feels like really smooth. You don't get any of that gloss. Stickiness when you heat up and all that sort of stuff, and obviously the matte paints throughout. Fairly simple. The volume knob was moved a little bit away from the pickups because it was kind of getting in the way with like picking and stuff, and generally I don't use the tone knob, so we got rid of that and we put the switch sort of like well out of the way. It's just a really simple guitar, but it does the job for me anyway. And the most exciting thing about this for me, well, not to mention having a signature guitar, but is the fact that EMG were cool enough to give me these new set of pickups the last time I was over, this time last year, just to, and they were like prototypes back then. These are the new 57 and 66 pickups, which they look passive, but they're not, they're actives. This is basically a good mix between an 81 and 85, because I was using an 85 in the bridge for ages, and Chris from EMG just said, well, look, if you really like that combination, then just try this one, because I bet you're going to love it. And then this one is almost like a slightly hotter 60. So the 60s are quite sort of bluesy sounding, but they do sort of creamy solos and that, but these are just a little bit more, got a little bit more give to them. And the sustain on this guitar is great. Due to the combination of the pickups and the actual through neck construction on the guitar as well, just adds like a really nice creamy sustain. And that's it. These pickups, unlike other EMGs or whatever, they're actually specifically built for those positions. So that's actually a bridge pickup, that's a neck pickup, and you can't swap them around. And I think there's something interesting with the 66 where they've combined ceramic poles and Alnico winding or whatever together, which is something I believe has never been done before, but I think I've got that right, I'm not entirely sure. But the frets on this guitar have been filed down a little bit because I've been let loose on the setup of this guitar, and it started to go a little bit weird because I don't really have a clue what I'm doing. So I gave it to the guys at ESP, and they basically just set this up, and it plays amazing now, so I'm not going to mess around with it at all. But yeah, that's the guitar.